Hello people of YouTube, 'tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin, here again to give you guys another anime review. And today, people of YouTube, we're going to be talking about one of the more sleeper hits of 2016, as not a lot of people know that this anime even exists, not a lot of people talk about this anime, not a lot of people even know, like I said, that the anime even exists. And, quite unfortunately, this anime is quite different from almost a lot of mafia kind of style stories that normally are being told nowadays, and I honestly think that this anime is definitely a must watch, as I do think it is probably one of the best animes I saw of 2016. And the anime that I'm going to talk about today with you guys is 91 Days. So 91 Days story begins like this. It takes place in the 1920s America during the Prohibition era, where the ban of alcohol and a mob running the streets and taking over towns and basically, calling the shots on everything rule the entire place. It takes place in this land named Lawless, and the mob basically runs the place. Enter our series main protagonist, Avilio Bruno, aka, Angelo Lagusta. His family was shot and killed right in front of him when he was a kid. So, 7 years later, he hunts and seeks for revenge on the people who killed his family. Turns out, the people who killed his family were a part of the Veneti Mafia, and basically these group of mafia heads that basically ruled the entire place of Lawless. From then, along with the help of his friend Corteo, Angelo, aka Bruno, sets out and helps one of the family members, or the sons of the Dons, of the Veneti family. So, and he ends up basically joining Nero, aka the son of the mob, and joins the Veneti family, all deep inside to get the revenge he so desires. And it's basically another revenge story. Some people live YouTube. Like I said, not a lot of people know about 91 Days. And I'm very upset because this anime, quite honestly, like I mentioned, is one of the best I've seen so far. Taking that, with the hype of like Re:Zero and Boku wa Hero Academy, both two great animes that came out this year, I can probably understand why this anime was being sidetracked, but I'm very shocked, because this anime, quite honestly, is definitely a sleeper hit. I was not expecting this anime to be this damn good. It really is a damn good anime, and I do recommend you guys check this anime out. But enough with that. What are the things that I love, and what are the things that I hate about 91 Days? First, and biggest and obvious out of the way, the animation. It's solid, okay? It really captures the 1920s era. You really feel a sense that, yeah, I'm really here living in the 1920s, and the animation giving this very dark, very monochrome kind of tone when it comes to the certain scenes that you meet in the anime, I thoroughly enjoyed. The animation is once again solid, aka great job, guys. The story of the anime is quite deep and very complex, with a lot of things happening in between. Now granted, it is your cliche revenge story, but with, sort of an added twist to it, the fact that the main character is joining the mob who killed his family, but it's just another revenge story if you really think about it. And what does this anime, is different from all the other revenge kind of stories? Well, to put a comparison, I would say it would be like, it's The Count of Monte Cristo. Remember that movie? The Count of Monte Cristo, was an anime. Like, what if that was an anime, except it took place in the 1920s? It almost feels like that. The story is actually very deep, having a lot of plot twists and things and hidden agendas and that kind of stuff added into the story. I do like that. And again, I like the feeling. I like how it gives you the feeling that you are in the 1920s Prohibition era. But to be honest, even though you're in this Prohibition era, there was never really kind of a threat of them being caught with, speakeasies and alcohol and shit. Like, you don't really see that in the anime. And not to mention the fact that, like I said, there's no threat of the mob and the police. Well, I mean, like, you would say, well, you know, since he's the mob owns the police, so, you know, you could say that, but I don't know. To me, there was never really a threat when it comes to, like, the buying and selling of alcohol in the anime. The characters. Now, to be honest with you people of YouTube, this anime is not character-driven. I mean, like, the only thing that you would say that would be character-driven is, you know, Avilio's thirst for revenge. But honestly, there's almost no character development. So, I kind of felt really upset because I like a good story. Don't get me wrong, I love stories. But I also love good characters with a great development. Now, minus maybe 2 characters, I would say, that actually have, make that 3, characters who actually have good character development. But there's also some characters that, like, they didn't really needed to be there. And the 3 characters I am going to talk about, number 1, of course, our main character. Now, I won't really get into specifics about what I feel about Avilio, but let's just say they're kind of not good, in the sense that I feel like I've seen this character done before. That kind of sense. This character kind of feels really just copy-paste, as you really see this sort of character done in multiple other animes. Let me think. Sasuke from Naruto, his thirst for revenge. What else? I honestly can't think of anyone else besides Sasuke, to be honest. But you kind of catch the drift that this character kind of feels like I've either seen him before, and if I have seen him before, he's probably done way better than him. Not to say that he's a bad main character. He does serve his purpose well. It's just that I don't feel like he should have been the main character. Honestly, who really should have been the main character all along was Nero, one of the other characters that I'm going to mention. Honestly, Nero is the more interesting character. He has a really rich backstory. He has a really good personality. I love his energy. I love everything about Nero, as, you know, he does sort of form a good, dramatic, ironic relationship with Avilio. And you wouldn't think, because he's one of the people who killed his family, or ended up killing his family to begin with. But ironically, they have one of the strongest bonds in this anime. And not to say that, like I said, I don't like Nero. I love Nero. He is my favorite character in the anime. It's just that, you know, I only wish that he was the main character instead of Avilio, because honestly, he was the more interesting character than Avilio. Honestly, another character who would probably have been even way better as Avilio for the main character is Cortio, his best friend. And yeah, I felt a really strong bond between him and Avilio, and there's just one episode that really fucking broke my heart when it comes to these two, and I'm not gonna give that away. That's obviously a spoiler, but let's just say what happens in episode either 9 or 10. No, it's episode 10. Episode 10. What happens in episode 10? Oh my god, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. And how it ended, the ending was very satisfying. The ending of the anime had me in full clarity. I obviously didn't want this anime to end up being like a shitty, crappy, to-be-continued kind of thing. Almost like The Sopranos, where it ended in a freaking black screen of death, and that's it. It's just, I did like how the story ended, how it all came together, and it ended very perfectly, and I do like the ending of the anime. Now, I'm singing praise about the anime, and I do have a sort of like a few nitpicks about it. Honestly, the one really major issue that I had with 91 Days is our main character, Avilio, as he's just very boring. He's very unoriginal. He's just, you know, done previously before and done way better. Honestly, if you would have replaced Avilio with someone else, nothing would be the same, although I do like his revenge kind of story. Wanna know what he is? He's just your stereotypical cool, calm guy who always keeps a cool face and knows when to really not really show his emotions and shit. He's sort of like one of that character. And yeah, you know, I do have issues with that sort of character archetype, but it doesn't really hinder the overall experience of the anime. Obviously, I had a blast watching 91 Days, and minus a few nitpicks like, you know, some of the characters I wanted more development out of them. Honestly, I actually wanted to see more of this guy named Fongo. He was surprisingly, he was very interesting. Like, he was really good main antagonist type, as I really felt like he, like, just radiates how he acts, how he does. Honestly, I would have liked more to see of his backstory, but no, he's not really giving a backstory, and honestly, he would have made a perfect main antagonist, because, oh my god, what this man does, he does some crazy ass shit, I'm not gonna lie. Especially episode 7, I want to say. Episode 7. Yeah, episode 7, or 6 leading into 7, I forgot what episode, but between those episodes, there's a scene on what he does with a dead body, and, yeah, I think, by the way, people of YouTube, this anime, no holds barred. This anime shows a lot of blood and a lot of gore. Well, not really a lot of gore, but a lot of blood, and it's really like one of those stories where it has to be taken seriously to really enjoy. And again, I don't have a problem with the story. The story's perfect. I like the story a lot. It had great characters, I mean solid characters at least, great animation, solid story, decent characters minus the main character and a few like other characters along the way. And that's basically it. I have nothing really much else to say about 91 Days besides those few things. And I honestly have no real issues besides those major nitpicks. So people of YouTube, I'm going to be grading 91 Days a very high score of it being a 9.5 out of 10. I do think it is definitely worth checking out. Another thing about the anime, why is it called 91 Days? It makes no sense. Why is it called 91 Days? It could have been something different. Like, why is it 91 days? Is there, like, any specific reason? Did it take him 91 days to kill the people who get his revenge? I don't know. Like, it wasn't really explained. Why is it 91 days? I don't fucking know. Yeah, just another nitpick. But it still gets a 9.5 out of 10. It's a very solid anime, and I do recommend you guys check it out. It's definitely going to be somewhere on the Anime of the Year, because it is a really solid anime, and dude, go check it out. It is very solid. That being said, people of YouTube, I have more videos coming on the way. I want to, hopefully do another live stream with on my gaming channel. We'll have to see. I don't know when. I'll make a video if I want to. I keep saying that I want to do a reaction video, but those, I mean, aren't really my specialty. I just do anime reviews, and that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Again, stay tuned. More videos coming hopefully soon, and yada yada yada. So until then, people of YouTube, 'tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin, signing out. Peace, YouTube.